There's a rule written into the DNA of the human species. It is older than money. It is older than language. It is older than the law. The rule is simple. We must repay, in kind, what another person has provided for us. If someone gives you a gift, you feel a biological obligation to give one back. If someone invites you to a party, you must invite them to yours. If someone does you a favor, you owe them a debt.
In the 1970s, the Hare Krishna Society used this rule to make millions. They didn't ask for donations. They forced a gift upon you. They pinned a flower to your jacket. They pressed a book into your hand. They said, "It is a gift. It is yours to keep." Once you accepted the gift, even if you didn't want it, even if you threw it away 5 minutes later, the trap was sprung. The psychological pressure to repay the kindness was so intense that people gave money just to relieve the tension.
Sociologists call this the Law of Reciprocity. It is the glue that holds society together. It allowed our ancestors to share food and survive. But in the hands of a manipulator, this glue becomes a web. They can force you into a debt you never asked for. They can give you a small, unwanted gift and use the psychological pressure of that gift to extract a massive compliance in return. In this video, we will explore the economics of obligation. We will analyze the rejection-then-retreat strategy, the exact psychological trick used to authorize the Watergate break-in. We will deconstruct the Godfather strategy of banking favors. And we will show you how to spot the golden handcuffs before they lock around your wrists. Welcome to Umbra Decode. Nothing in life is free.
Why is this instinct so strong? Why do we feel physically uncomfortable, anxious even, when we owe someone money or a favor? The anthropologist Richard Leakey argued that reciprocity is the very essence of what it means to be human. He stated, "We are human because our ancestors learned to share food and skills in an honored network of obligation. This created the Web of Indebtedness."
This web meant that one hunter could give away his extra meat today, knowing that if he failed to hunt tomorrow, the tribe would feed him. It is an insurance policy against starvation. Because this was vital for survival, evolution installed a mechanism to punish those who took but did not give. We have visceral, negative labels for those who break the rule: moocher, freeloader, ingrate, welcher. The fear of these labels is so intense that we will go to irrational lengths to avoid them. We will buy Tupperware we don't need because a friend gave us a sandwich. We will donate to a charity we don't like because they sent us personalized address labels in the mail. We pay a heavy tax to buy back our psychological freedom. This leads to the most dangerous aspect of the law: the unequal exchange. A small favor can trigger a large return. Because the feeling of debt is unpleasant, we're willing to give back more than we received just to rid ourselves of the burden. A 50-cent flower buys a $5 donation. A free pen buys a 15-minute sales meeting. The math never adds up, but the psychology always does.
In 1971, psychologist Dennis Regan conducted a famous experiment that proved reciprocity overrides likability. A subject was placed in a room with a Confederate named Joe. In one scenario, Joe did nothing. In the other scenario, Joe left the room and returned with 2 Coca-Colas. He handed one to the subject, saying, "I bought myself a Coke and brought one for you." Later, Joe asked the subject to buy raffle tickets for 25 cents each.
The subjects who received the 10-cent Coke bought twice as many raffle tickets as those who didn't. But here is the terrifying finding. The researchers asked the subjects, "Did you like Joe?" In the control group, people who disliked Joe bought 0 tickets. But in the reciprocity group, it didn't matter if they liked Joe or hated him. They bought the tickets anyway.
The power of the debt overwhelmed the power of personality. This is the business model of the pharmaceutical industry.
Why do they give doctors free pens, free lunches, and free trips? Doctors claim, "I cannot be bought for a sandwich." They are wrong. The subconscious mind keeps score. When the doctor is deciding between two equal drugs, the brain nudges them toward the one that provided the gift. It is not bribery, it is biology.
There is a tactical maneuver derived from reciprocity called Rejection-Then-Retreat, or the door-in-the-face technique. It works like this. 1. Make a large, insane request that you know will be refused. 2. When they say no, retreat to a smaller request, the one you really wanted all along. Why does this work? Because of reciprocal concession. When you back down from your big request, the other person perceives this as a compromise. To match your concession, they feel obligated to make a concession of their own by saying yes to the second request.
This technique is responsible for the downfall of Richard Nixon. G. Gordon Liddy wanted approval for the Watergate break-in. It was a stupid, high-risk plan. So he didn't pitch the break-in first. He pitched a $1 million plan involving a mugging squad, kidnapping radicals, and a yacht with high-class call girls. The committee said, "No, are you crazy?" Liddy retreated. He pitched a $500,000 plan. They said no. Finally, he pitched a $250,000 plan. Just a simple break-in, no kidnapping. The committee said, "Well, that sounds reasonable." They approved a disastrous plan simply because it seemed small compared to the first one. This is the contrast principle, weaponized by reciprocity.
How do you apply this to power dynamics? You adopt the Godfather strategy. Don Corleone does not ask for money, he grants favors. He solves problems. He gives justice. And what does he ask for in return? Someday, and that day may never come, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Corleone is banking political capital. He is creating a network of sleepers. He has people in the police, in the courts, and in the unions who owe him. He understands that a favor is an investment that appreciates in value over time. The longer the debt is held, the heavier it becomes. Lyndon B. Johnson used this to become the most effective Senate Majority Leader in history. He would find out what every senator needed: a bridge for their district, a job for their nephew, a pass on a scandal. He delivered. Then, when a crucial vote came up, he would stand close to them and stare. He didn't have to say a word. They knew they owed him. Power is the ability to call in debts. We must address the dark side of reciprocity. It is often used as a tool of coercion, particularly in sexual or romantic dynamics. The nice guy buys dinner, buys gifts, and listens to problems. He is not doing this out of charity. He is doing it to create a debt. He believes he is inserting coins into a vending machine and that sex or love should fall out. This is covert contracts. I did X for you, so you owe me Y. But the other person never signed the contract. This creates resentment on both sides. The giver feels cheated. After all I did for you. The receiver feels manipulated. I never asked for that. True generosity has no strings. Strategic reciprocity always has strings. You must learn to tell the difference. So, how do you defend against this weapon? You cannot reject every gift. That makes you a hermit. The defense is cognitive reframing. You must change how you mentally categorize the interaction. When a salesman gives you a free sample, do not define it as a gift. Define it as a sales device. It is not an act of kindness. It is a marketing expense. The law of reciprocity says we must return kindness with kindness. It does not say we must return sales tactics with purchases. Once you label the gift as a trick, the sense of obligation vanishes. You are free to eat the sample, drink the Coke, and walk away without buying a thing. Generosity is a beautiful virtue, but strategic generosity is a leash. Be careful what you accept, because the hand that feeds you is usually the hand that owns you.
To see the strings that control the world, subscribe to Umbra Decode. Pay your debts, but choose your creditors wisely.